Hallo und herzlich willkommen im Schweinske zu Woche 13 vom We Don't Get Tired Sports Talk hier live in Düsseldorf. Dankeschön. Mein Name ist Harold Macmillan. Ich habe die Ehre, euch heute wieder durch diesen Tag zu führen. Wir haben vorweg noch ein paar Sachen, die wir sagen wollten, einfach um die Zukunft des We Don't Get Tired Sports Talk ein bisschen näher zu bringen an euch. Und zwar, es ist der erste Advent, das ist kurz vor Weihnachten und ihr werdet es langsam gemerkt haben, der Monat, der normalerweise zwischen November und Dezember ist, wo man dann endlich mal ein bisschen Geld zurücklegt, langsam mal sein Weihnachtsshopping macht, der fällt dieses Jahr flach. Und wir von We Don't Get Tired haben darauf reagiert und ich denke, euch geht es da wie mir. Ich mache um diese Zeit im Jahr normalerweise sehr hektisch bei allen Preisausschreiben mit, die ich irgendwie zu greifen kriegen kann, damit ich meinen Leuten überhaupt irgendwas schenken kann. Und wir von We Don't Get Tired haben darauf reagiert und werden demnächst, verfolgt die Seite bitte, einiges an Bundles für euch zusammenstellen, die ihr gewinnen könnt, wenn ihr eifrig unsere Beiträge teilt, uns drauf verlinkt, die Interviews teilt und so weiter. Ihr, die heute hier seid, live im Schweinske, wir werden nachher wie immer ein NFL-Spiel tippen. Heute ist es die Partie Arizona gegen Atlanta, die wir tippen werden. Könnt einen Original Wilson NFL Football gewinnen. Das für die Leute, die hier sind. Die Leute, die uns auf Facebook oder auf YouTube verfolgen, können dann demnächst einfach irgendwelche weiteren schönen Artikel gewinnen, zum Beispiel T-Shirts, Hoodies, Karten für GFL-Spiele, was auch immer. An der Stelle auch nochmal ein Danke an all die Leute, die uns bisher so fleißig unterstützt haben, die unsere Sachen teilen, die uns auf Beiträge verlinken. Das ist wirklich immens wichtig. Noch ein kurzer Ausblick in die Zukunft. Ich habe vorgestern gehört, es haben sich einige wirklich große Namen angekündigt, die sich demnächst hier interviewen lassen wollen. Und dafür ist es wirklich immens wichtig, dass wir ein großes Echo im Social-Media-Bereich haben. Und da kommt ihr wirklich ins Spiel. Weil ihr werdet es nicht glauben, aber verdammt viele amerikanische Sportstars machen regelmäßig Urlaub in Deutschland. Ich selbst habe vor einem halben Jahr George Harrison von den Indiana Pacers in Dachau in der Gedenkstätte getroffen. Champ Bailey ist oft in Deutschland. Mike Tyson ist oft in Deutschland. Und wenn man denen dann eben sagt, ey Leute, hier ist was, das ist ein gutes Projekt, das wird viel beachtet, viel gesehen, dann erhöht ihr natürlich die Wahrscheinlichkeit, dass die sagen, ey, da können wir uns selbst promoten, wir haben jetzt das ein oder andere Projekt, was wir groß machen wollen, da kommen wir doch einfach mal vorbei. Also verfolgt uns eifrig, teilt uns eifrig und macht eure eigene Show so besser. Dankeschön. Wir sagen an der Stelle herzlich willkommen unseren beiden Gästen heute. Ich muss mich mal kurz konzentrieren, ich bin ein bisschen nervös, das ist das erste Interview, was wir komplett in Englisch machen werden. Welcome, Claudio Bartolozzi and Pepijn Mendonca.
Thank you.
I hope I got those names right now.
Perfect. I like it how you said that just in Italian.
Great. Oh, thank you.
There's just not many people doing it right the first time.
Thanks. Well, I didn't practice that at all. This is just me improvising, basically. Yeah, you guys have known each other for quite some time, for 16 years, I think I've learned. Just give us a quick bio, a quick run-up on how you two got started.
Okay, I'll do that then. Yeah, we've been knowing each other for like 16, 17 years. We got to know each other at the football field, actually, back home in Amsterdam, where we started being kids, we were like 14, 15 years old, maybe even 13, playing flag football at the Amsterdam Panthers at the time. It was a club being set up at the time, pretty new. Just a couple players, and that's where we met, actually through a school system. So we were playing flag football at the local school, where they organized these school championships basically, and after doing that we decided to go and play for the Amsterdam Panthers. That's where we got to know each other, yeah, and from there on moved out from the Amsterdam Panthers to the Amsterdam Crusaders eventually. And did a lot of other things that we probably will cover today as well. But yeah, ever since, yeah.
Okay, and now getting to the things that we're going to cover, which are very interesting to our viewers right now. What are your positions as of now? What are you doing right now with American football?
Personally, I am involved with the national team, being the general manager for the Dutch national team, the Dutch Lions. Other than that, I am actively working or trying to help out the Amsterdam Crusaders. used to be a player there, not playing anymore, but trying to help him organize all the different things that need to be done with a team. That's what I'm doing actually. I'll give Pep the mic to explain for himself.
Sure.
Yes, right now I'm not doing so much with American football. I'm coaching the offense of the Dutch Lions, but the season is over, so I'm not doing so. It doesn't cost me so much time. And besides that, I talk to a lot of American football teams throughout Europe with my company. But I think we're gonna go in that later.
Okay, we can do that later.
Yeah.
So, what got you guys started in working with the Dutch Lions, with the Dutch national team?
Yeah, just one mic.
Two guys, one mic. You know.
No, so actually, it started about 4 years ago, 2012. We were having a beer together with the treasurer of the board at the time. And during that beer, he actually mentioned that the coaching staff of the national team, and by the way, I was playing or trying to win a spot as a player. And the treasurer told us that the coaching staff at the time was in a situation where they had to quit. And we were like 7 or 8 weeks before going to the European Championships in 2012. The result of that would have been that the board, or not the board, but the federation would be fined heavily by IFAF, meaning that most likely the Football Federation of Holland would just not survive that. Because of that, we decided to actually pick up the ball and really make it happen that we would actually be able to go to the European Championships with only like 7 weeks left. No coaching staff, no players, no program, no nothing. 7 weeks and we had to go. So that's actually where it all started with the national team. So it wasn't so much of it that it was an actual choice for us to go and do it, but the situation was there and just somebody had to do it. So we picked it up. Pep did all the coaching stuff from that end, and myself, I was occupied with all the logistics and operations of the team. Basically, that's where we started.
So you guys really switched sides from coming to a player to the manager coach kind of thing, because you were his manager and on the field you were his quarterback, correct?
Well, no, he had like two caps on.
Okay.
He was the team manager, but also the player, and I was just a coach. So he was above me as a team manager and below me as a player. So I was just sitting in between. Okay, who do I talk to? Is this Claudio the team manager, or is this Claudio the player? Can I get mad at him right now, or or can I? So
How did you get that done? I mean, obviously we're not talking about a backlot football team in Division 4 or 5. This is really high level football. So of course it has to be professional. How did you get, or how did you manage this difference?
Well, because we have the background together, and we know each other for quite some time. It's easier for us, and we could talk with each other about it, and it was not as we didn't take everything personally, so it was pretty easy to go for me. I mean, I think he had some more problems with it when I had to tell him things to do, but for me, I didn't have a lot of problems with him. But I think he has some true stories about that.
Okay, is there any anecdote, anything funny that might have happened?
I wouldn't be able to recall it just like that, but it's you have it's different when your coach, when your OC on the field is telling you something to do, and at the same time, I mean, there was a hard, what is it called, like a boundary between on-field stuff and off-field stuff, and we have, like Pep just said, because of the history, we have to respect to each other where we could actually, we were in a player-coach relationship on-field, and we're in a manager-coach relationship off-field. The only problem is that I'm literally talking about the white line of the sideline, meaning that, I mean, during practices, at one end, I'm like before practice and after practice, I've got management duties, and during practice, I was playing. So it was kind of like, I mean, you have to take it literally when you're off the field we were talking about organizational issues, and when we were on the field, it would be football issues. So that was quite of a weird situation. But again, it worked out fine. I think it was a start. We had to do it. We had to go out and play. We had to go out and make sure the team was ready to play the 012 championship games. And so we did. So no, in the end, it was all fine. We figured out pretty quickly, though, that it wasn't the best situation to be in. So I also decided immediately to basically stop playing the year after. So that immediately was my last play as a national team player for the Dutch Lions.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But on the other hand, that's a very good excuse. Sorry, coach, I'm late for practice. I had to negotiate that Nike deal.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't say no. He couldn't say anything. When I was late, I was doing something for the team. So I was the only one that didn't have to go and run gases or something.
That's good. And right now, you guys, if I can say so, are both working for the most successful football program in the Netherlands, right? The Amsterdam Crusaders.
Are you asking to him or to me?
You're the
yeah.
the
I mean, yeah. So we both were working on 3 different areas: national team, Amsterdam Crusaders, and then there was gear for teams that we'll talk about in a bit. Mm-hmm. The Amsterdam Crusaders, again, Pep was coaching. I was still playing there because I wasn't managing the Crusaders, so I just kept on playing with the Crusaders. So we still had that coach-player relationship over there too. But also there, slowly I started to move out of being a player and more getting involved with the organizational stuff. So again, the relationship changed a bit from there. Mm-hmm. I think also with the Amsterdam Crusaders, we're doing really, really good things. We've been growing over the last 2-3 seasons. Mm-hmm. We're bringing in some American players, which is relatively new. Well, I want to say like new in the current Crusader setting. I mean, the Amsterdam Crusaders historically have been having quite some American players. Have had some international experience, but over the last 3-4 years, we really have been developing that again. And that is what I'm involved with off field, and Pep was involved with it on field. And we're doing great things. We're last year we were able to reach the finals of the EFL Cup. Mm-hmm. Played I would almost say Frankfurt Galaxy, but the Frankfurt Universe,
of course.
And it was great to see that the Amsterdam Crusaders were actually growing that fast. I mean, like I said, we brought in some players, and they make a huge difference. They really help your whole organization. I mean, the whole group of players to grow as well, and it was good to see. It was we're doing well there, I think.
What else are you doing? Bringing in imports obviously is just one step.
Yeah, so I'm personally involved with the first screening of imports about non-playing matters. So is a guy willing to come over? What does that mean for the Amsterdam Crusaders? Of course, I do look a little bit like, can he play? Is he technically seen the type of player that we're looking for? But then relatively quickly, I hand it over to the head coach or the offensive coordinator to really get into it with the player himself. Other than that, I am partially responsible for all the events that we organize, all the big games that we organize. I've been doing that for the national team, so it was quite natural to do that also for the Amsterdam Crusaders. Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the whole thing as an event manager, is it hard to bring people to the stadiums in the Netherlands, or is it fairly easy?
You have to see that in the Netherlands, on the average AFBN game, where in the GFL...
AFBN is
the American Football Federation Netherlands, the American Football Bond Nederland.
Yeah.
You have to see that the average outcome of spectators at a game, at a regular season game, would be like in between 100 or 200 people max tops. If you're lucky, you reach 300-400. And for the national team, we've been able to attract about 4,500, 3,000 people to the field. So that was quite a difference. And we're talking still about the same group of spectators that we need to, or try to address. So it wasn't easy. We had to do things differently than a lot of teams have been doing. So it was quite a journey to discover what to do in order to activate those people to actually come and watch the games. And we're trying to build a fan base. We're trying to build we just want people to come and watch the game. We want to show them what the national team can do and what football in the Netherlands is all about, basically.
Now, the Netherlands aren't very large. Is there a lot of, maybe Pep can say something about that, is there a lot of back and forth in the personnel? Like, do you play for the Crusaders one year and then you play for somebody else another year? Like, am I a mercenary if I'm a football player in the Netherlands, or do I go and die with my team?
Well, there are a couple of players that have switched teams, but mainly they stay with the one team. This is because the teams are more family bonded, and they're more into the how do you say it, the relationship within the team. It's really important. The clubs in the Netherlands, they do not have anything to offer for the imports or for the other players, so there is no really reason to switch to another team for the players.
So it's basically really a family thing. You feel comfortable with your team, and then you just go with them from there.
Yeah, that's it. And of course, you have a couple. You have maybe a group of 10, 15 players that switch, but that's it. That's it.
Now, you have a lot of international experience yourself. Is that correct?
Well, a lot. I don't know. Yeah, some.
What were some of your stops as a player where you played?
I played 4 or 5 years in Germany. I played in the Netherlands. I coached in the US, and I'm coaching on a couple camps during the season throughout Europe. So, that's it basically.
What did you do in the US? That's of course very interesting for football fans.
Well, I coached in a high school. I coached in I have a twin brother. He's at an 1A school.
Oh, okay.
He's a coach and a video coordinator, and he's switching schools like every other year. So he brought me over to coach in a high school team, and it was pretty fun to do. It was not my kind of football, but high school is different than playing in here, of coaching in Europe.
Okay, in which way?
Well, high school is not about football. It's more about kids getting more mature and getting older and teaching them about life than about the X and the O's.
Okay.
And I think it was 2009 or 2010. I just stopped playing with football for playing for Braunschweig, and I was all about the X and the O's. I was not about how to be a good person or how to help kids getting better. I was just about you run your route like a certain way, and that was not the thing they were busy at the high schools.
Okay. Well, talking about involvement and evolving from a player to a coach and manager perspective, we'll get back to that in the second half of We Don't Get Tired, Week 13 Sports Talk. Short break. Thank you. Herzlich willkommen zum zweiten Teil von Woche 13 vom We Don't Get Tired Sports Talk live aus dem Schweinske in Düsseldorf. Danke nochmal an alle Leute, die jetzt während unserer ersten Hälfte dazugekommen sind. Herzlich willkommen euch. Wir werden hier gleich die Partie Arizona gegen Atlanta schauen, werden da auch drauf tippen und verlosen einen Football. Der den Punktspread zwischen den beiden Mannschaften am akkuratesten tippt, hat die Chance, diesen Soft Grip NFL Football zu gewinnen, der noch von unseren Gästen unterschrieben wird. Ich möchte den Wert nicht mindern, deshalb werde ich nicht unterschreiben. Wir werden uns jetzt aber erstmal wieder unseren beiden Gästen Claudio und Pep zuwenden. Guys, we just talked about your transitions from being active players to being managers. At which point did both of you guys realize, okay, playing isn't that good for us anymore?
That's a hard question.
Or did you never formally quit?
Yeah, I never formally quit.
Okay.
Well, no. I played a couple seasons after my GFL adventure, but that was not really serious. So, yeah, I'm not. I really have to quit. I really have to quit. What about you?
Like we just said, actually, I was still playing national team and Crusaders, and then I just figured out it was just, I couldn't do all at the same time. So I made a decision. Also, just, pains, body pains, injuries, those kind of things didn't help. So I never formally quit, and I still think I can do it, actually.
Okay, are you both on Europlayers? Is this a call out to teams? If you need a quarterback and a wide receiver with national team experience, get a hold of these guys and they can make it happen for you.
I'm not sure if that's a really good idea, but at some point it's just done. You feel it. You feel in your body when it's finished, and some people do some sort of formal final game to play. I never played that final game, so maybe one day I'll still do it.
Okay.
But I'd like to actually. I'd like to play one more game, to be honest.
Where?
About that. Actually, I really like to play. I played one season for Düsseldorf for the Panther.
Okay.
And I would really like to play one more season in the GFL. That would be really nice. But I mean, not sure if it's. I think I can still do it.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, in reality, of course. What can I say? It's now.
Well, I mean, if you want to play a GFL for the Panthers, you do have a year to get in shape, right? So.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah. So I need to quit drinking a lot of Cokes and eating hamburgers and all that stuff. But hey, no, I'll just keep on managing and eating the burgers.
Okay. Speaking of managing, you guys had a very interesting activity that helped you transition, I think, from the active playing career to a managing point. What was that? I'm sure some people watching this interview right now have had contact with either one of you.
Yeah, actually, apart from playing, we were also roommates at the time. So that's why I said we started there and really kind of shared every step along the way. We, from home, basically, we were involved with the Crusaders, and we wanted to create a tracksuit, basically, for our team. So we together started to try and organize that and get some equipment, get some team equipment for all the guys that we were working with. So that was actually start of something that's now gear for teams, and that basically kind of forced us also away from the field. You set up something, and it didn't start as a business. We started it just purely to provide our own team from nice looking gear, and from there, after that was finished and the team was wearing it, we received a lot of requests from other teams within the country, and we helped them out. We figured out after 2-3 teams that we might as well start a business, so that's how it all started basically. And then absolutely, I mean, then now you're team managing, you're coaching, you're producing team equipment. So, the playing days were over.
Okay. What were some of the challenges starting your own business?
The business, what we do is in clothing. So, we were in the sport life. We didn't know how to make clothes. I don't know, we were always into sports, so we knew everything about football or everything about how to coach, how to set up something, but not how to make clothes.
Okay.
So I don't know. How would you measure your arm length? Those kind of questions, and how big does it have to be? How do you make a size for an O lineman that, but it also should fit a receiver? How do you work with that? And those things, that was the hardest. But I think right now we manage pretty good, and I think right now we're making pretty good clothes.
Okay. Are there any funny stories about trying to fit maybe somebody who had a 6XL and it just didn't work, or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. We had a guy actually with the Crusaders, and he didn't fit in anything. The guy's so huge, it's like 2 meters, 20 centimeters or something. It's like really huge, and like 150 kilograms or something, 160, I don't know, but he was just really big. And none of the clothing that we had at the time, and this was in the beginning when we started, would fit the guy. So it was really funny he was really angry with it also, because, he just wanted to have the same clothes as everybody else. And that also was, eventually it turned out to be the strength, because like right now, Gear for Teams can make clothing for everybody in every size, and if it doesn't fit you by standard, then we adjust it and make it for you, basically. And he kind of was the start of that, but it was kind of a weird situation where you try and get a guy to fit a jersey and it just doesn't fit, you know what I mean? It just doesn't work. You have those challenges, like Pep just said. We weren't experienced in making clothing, but we got experienced over time.
Yeah. So now I picture these two young guys who have this bright idea, and they start a business, and it keeps growing and growing. What happened then? I mean, you guys were living together. Did it by any chance change the way your flat looked, or?
Yeah, well, it started with just like I said, from home. We did some designing, like photoshopping, to show the factories what we wanted, and the stuff came in. It didn't fit. The zippers broke. It was just bad. But after being really persistent, at some point it was a good product. Once the other teams started to come in with their requests, and we helped them out, at some point we were delivering like 10 different orders at the same time or something, and our whole living room just changed into a warehouse. We were sharing this flat, and we just couldn't walk around anymore. We couldn't watch TV because there was just no space to see the TV while you're sitting on the couch. That was really really a weird situation. So actually that was the start where we decided to move out of this place with like business-wise and really go into an office. But it was good. I mean, people wanted the product. This was good, and of course it also changes your roomie relation also a little bit. You're in business together full time. When you're done working, you go back home, and there he is again. So. Yeah. That was kind, and then at 7 in the evening or something, or 8 in the evening when we would go to practice, then we would see each other again. So I don't know. It was just it did change a bit. Yeah.
Did you guys have any time left to like hook up with women or anything like that?
How about you, Pep?
No, not at all. Not
good
at all.
answer.
Not at all. How about you, Claudio?
Man, this is what. No, we do. We went out a lot too. Yeah. On Friday nights, Saturday nights, of course, after games, went to places. So you grow a bond. You're together all the time, and you also talk to women, at least in the same club. Luckily not the same woman, but no, it was. I mean, it took a lot of time. We were spending like 60, 70, 80 hours a week with Gear for Teams. We had to start at absolutely zero. We didn't know anything. We had to learn how to produce clothes. We had to, at some point, if you want to do it good, you also really need to understand how it's being produced and understand really the production steps. How do you make a football jersey? We just don't really know. And the only thing we knew was what a player wanted to wear, because we being players, at the time especially, we just knew that we wanted to have a jersey that would fit a certain way. As a receiver, you want to have your gloves to fit a certain way, or have some sort of a feel. So from how it would look until how it would feel. So that was the only reference we had, was our own reference basically, and using that we really slowly started to understand to also how to produce it, and yeah, that's how
so
it
you
got
guys
there.
were living up to the old rumor of skill players being stylers by nature, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah, of course. No, definitely. I mean, it has to look good. It has to be also functional, obviously. And again, you know, at the start, it's not. I mean, to be honest, in the start, it's just not. But then, over time, and it develops. You know, you never stop developing.
Right. And do you think psychologically, the look and the appearance of your team really has an impact on how you play? He's shaking his head. He's like, nah.
I think that's the response of a coach. As a player, I mean, you have your athletic capabilities, or you don't. So that's it. But it's always nice, you know, and to just look good. I mean, come on. It's the same if you're going out on a Saturday night, you want to look good too.
Right.
You know, so it's a bit of the same, I think. I guess.
Okay, that's really modest.
Well, what I learned here in Germany is that in Germany there's just something they say, like, if you look good, you play good. You feel good, you play good.
Yeah.
So of course it is important to look good as a team, because which team wants to look with different kind of jerseys or doesn't want to have the same outfits? Nobody does. That doesn't give you confidence in your team. So of course you want to look. Yeah, you want to look good, and it has influence on how you feel.
Okay.
And yeah.
Speaking of which, let's go to October, where you guys formed or tried to round up players to go to Poland to play Team Poland with your Dutch Lions. I'm quite sure you guys looked really, really astonishing when you got off the plane or the bus or whatever, but still it wasn't enough to come off with a victory. Actually, it looked pretty bad. What was the background? Because I mean, you guys are full throttle. You're full throttle motivated as players, full throttle motivated as coaches, full throttle motivated as business people. What was the problem?
The team actually just had a really long year. You know, the national team is active from, let's say, in the months September, October, and ultimately November if needed. But we start actually August already. The season in Holland ends second week of July, and then it starts actually with the national team. So all the players were already, they played their whole season, and then they started with the national team. We played Ireland, friendly game at home.
It was their first year too, right? Ireland?
Yeah, that was actually the first year Ireland played. It's funny to see because, you know, as we've been trying to grow the national team, it kind of affected countries like Belgium and Ireland to also start doing that and also like set up a program. So that's really good. But we played Ireland. We couldn't finish the game due to a thunderstorm. So it was we quit after halftime, unfortunately. Then we had to go to the the European Championship or the pool games that were played in Italy and in the UK, and we were going to the one in the UK playing the Czech Republic and eventually Russia. The UK was part of that tournament as well. Unfortunately, we lost, and the hopes of the team, I mean, the hopes were up really high. You know, we really went out to play and win it. 2012 when we started, I mean, we just had to save the situation. So we were going just to play, but not really with an expectation to win, honestly said. This time that was completely different. We went to win. We wanted to go out there and really show Europe what we could do. And we were just this close of winning to the Czech Republic. I mean, the team was absolutely dominating against Czech Republic during the first half of the game. The quarterback got injured, and that was a hard lesson because we didn't have a backup plan on that quarterback. We lost the game against Czech Republic, meaning that all our dreams that we were, you know, working towards for the past 4 years already, they were just gone. We had to play Russia, which was just a must-play game. Won the game, that helped a bit, the morale of the group. But after that, I mean, the loss was just devastating. They really went for the win. I mean, looking back at it right now, it was just never really a good idea, I think, to organize a friendly game, in this case against Poland, but against whoever, after such a tournament. This is one of the things that you do. You organize because you want to organize games, but then it's a lesson. In the future, I think we would never play a friendly game anymore so close after an official event, because if you lose it, that would really mean that your players just lose morale and they don't want to go out and play anymore. That was the situation. We went to Poland on half strength. We lost a lot of players in the weeks actually right after the EC, going with half the team. Okay. And I think, strength-wise, that explains it a bit. Morale was just low. It was just not good from the start. We actually tried to cancel the game also, but it was impossible to do, unfortunately for us, which I can also understand. Poland does a really good job in organizing their events. That's one of the things they do really well. Plus, by the way, I have to also say that the level of the Polish national team has been growing strongly over the past years.
That's good. That brings us to our final question. Who do you think will be the football nation of the future in Europe?
I will give that one to Pep because I would have a clue.
Well, I think you will have two nations, maybe three, that at the end will be the best.
Okay.
That's UK, Germany, and France. UK and France because they involve the schools with it, and they have set up programs where the kids go to school and they're involved with football every day, and it's like they have to do because of school. Like in the UK they have the university school leagues, so they have a lot of possible ways to play football. Germany is all about the numbers. Yeah, Germany is the biggest in Europe, and the number game that's why Germany is as good as is right now. So those three will be the best in the near future.
All right, thanks, Pep. Yeah. That wraps up our talk for today. Thank you very much, Claudio. Thank you very much, Pep, for being here. Euch allen hier viel Spaß bei Arizona gegen Atlanta. Vergesst das Tippen nicht. Wir sehen uns nächste Woche wieder. Danke fürs Einschalten. Bis dann. Ciao.